Hmm. Did it cool down yet? Yeah, it did. Do I have everything set up? I think I do. Where's my phone? There it is. The alarm is about to go off. Hee 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 hee. I almost turned on the hentai game. My bad. Sorry, I got something stuck in my teeth. Oh, what's that? Oh, you stuffing my face? I think yeah, it does tweak out when it does that. But hi, Keith. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry. That's not my mouse. I grabbed my microphone like it was my mouse. My bad. I gotta watch for that. Oh, let me... Strogander's penis situation.
Gemma would be all over this.
Oh, 2 fire cell stones.
I'll put the materials I gathered in your item box.
Oh, I still have the carver skill. How long is this gonna last? Trying to look intimidating, but he's so adorable. He's dead though. What is that? Is that a horseshoe crab? Halibug. Okay. Pale bug? I don't know. Nitro toad.
Where should we start?
Let's check the map first.
What do you think we'll find? Oh, I think we can mine this.
Oh, is this the plenty? I think this is the plenty. I never really looked at the place during the plenty, actually.
Here we go!
Monster Bras.
We could set up camp there.
Let's go. Let's go up here. Ooh, Nova Crystal.
I spy an ancient relic.
What do you suppose this is? It looks quite old.
Mm-hmm.
Researching endemic life is part of the hunter's duty, you know?
I'm not researching these, I'm keeping them as pets. Or anything. Just yelling at shit.
Look at all our ingredients. We should whip out the barbecue grill.
Oh, I ran out of food. No, I knew that was gonna happen. I just wanted to do some stuff before. Alright, let's see. I don't know if I got an invitation or not.
I've got something for you.
I want to max out this armor. That's what I would like to do.
I heard from the others.
Oh, I'll take this, actually. Some meat. Need water. I'm skipping out on my water lately. Okay.
Right.
I need to hunt more Rathalos. I'd also go after Gravios, so I'm not sure if I want to. No, I need... Oh! It's more than what I was looking for. Let me in. Oh my god, I'm in! Yay! We're gonna hunt some Bakas. Baka, Baka, Baka. I wanted 2 and I got 3. I'm happy for that. Well. You know, at least video game wise, I think my luck is turning around. Actually, Mom did say we handled all the things, so they handled all the stuff. I think my sister actually has a good point. If I didn't have a payee, I don't think I would been able to handle that situation. It wasn't for my sister handling it for me. I think I would have lost my Section 8. And, not my Section 8, my SSI. And then when it comes to the rent thing, if I was to be alone and not have someone to handle this for me, it's just stuff that I've been thinking about lately. It's like, oh, your rent's not being paid. Apparently this lady is stealing from you. I'm over here like, I wouldn't have known that. I would not have known that. And then it's like, oh, your SSI didn't pay you, and it's like, I wouldn't have known that either. I would have just noticed that my money was not there and like basically not been able to deal with it. I'm really glad I have a payee. I'm really glad it's my sister too, because I know if it was just some random person, I wouldn't get the proper treatment, you know? Hit him! There we go. I already missed my headphones. been using a lot of greatsword. I'm not sure if I'm usually playing sword and shield, but I've been using a lot of greatsword lately. Sword and shield is still my serious weapon. This is definitely the weapon I use to play around. I guess it does more damage, but like, it's not my serious weapon, basically. It's weird how if I'm taking somebody seriously, a monster seriously, I'm using the smaller weapon though. But it's just such a good weapon. There's his tail. I didn't get it, but they did. There we go. Did we break his head? Can I? No, I want to kill him. Aww.
Nicely done, Hunter. Glad you're in one piece.
Oh, Ruby! Hell yeah! I like that, Ruby. Oh, another Ruby. Yay. Some sacks.
Hey.
An investigation from Rathian and Rathalos would be nice. I'm looking for, so I don't think I showed you this earlier, but I want these for a reason.
I've got it.
I'll show you. Gravios would be better, but he's also slower to kill. But,
Get started.
I want to make armor spheres. And Rathalos has this, the Wrath Medulla. The Wrath Medulla allows me to do this and do all of his parts, right? I will also do this as well. It lets me do all of his parts, and I'm able to get like a bunch of stuff. Oh, maybe I use some Inferno Sacks too. Should I? Yeah, I use Inferno Sacks. So now I have Armor Sphere, Hard Armor Sphere, Advanced Armor Sphere.
Time to get started.
And what I'm doing is I'm upgrading this armor that I'm wearing right now. Which is this. Let me show you.
Anything catch your eye?
It's 2 parts Arc Field, 2 parts Guardian Arc Field, and where'd it go? It's also, where'd it go? Suja. Maybe 8-star Tempered Quest, yeah.
Hemine Mazeripe.
Look at all this ore.
Should we have a look around?
In we go.
I don't know. Did they offer to eat with me? Let me check. Apparently not. No, never mind. Ow. Yeah, I'm looking at this guy. It's weirdly enough been kind of sort of bothering me because I don't know how accurate I am, right? I'm looking at this random guy. He has glossy black wavy hair, and yes, it's wavy, not like woolly, right? And you look at his jaw, right? And his nose. These guys are based off of Hawaiians. Or Pacific Islanders specifically. I see a bunch of different types. Like this guy. Oh, that's a lady. But she looks concerningly like maybe I shouldn't say concerningly. She looks like a Micronesian. I should not say she concerningly, but she looks kind of like a Micronesian. I'm not gonna lie. They probably took a lot of inspiration from the Hawaii, from specific islanders for these people. Except this person, I don't think so. I'm not sure about this person. The thing is, it's the hair, right? But that's like the biggest way to tell that a lot of people would be able to recognize. But her hair is all tied up. But the thing is, that's the thing that certain types of people do, right? They braid their hair, which I think it would be really difficult. Every single time I think about like braiding it, it's like what? I think the one thing is a Pacific Islander usually gets mistaken for a certain type of people. I think legitimately a lot of people can't see past the skin. But I look at the hair and everything, and the jawline, especially. And that's why it's difficult with that lady. This is one of the main ladies, but it's difficult with her. Because that's not a Pacific Islander's face. In fact, my character, like this one right here, like, she would definitely be like at least half. She kind of, I actually specifically made her look like a Filipino. But she's a lot taller than a Filipino would be. Filipinos are small. So essentially I just probably made her like a half or something. Spring sale on now. Cool. I just wanted to bring that up just because it has been kind of on my mind. Oh, you know, actually, it's a good way for you to like tell that she, like Like, she definitely is like a half-half, right? And you go over here and you use the loadouts. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have a register. There we go. And then you put her in this. It's crazy how like putting her in like a classic style of like item clothing could actually make a huge difference, right? Like you can definitely tell like this. And you put this on her. Like this on her, I'm not sure. They're just like very, would the word be androgynous? Like you can't really tell what she is. If you go like this, you can definitely fucking tell what I was going for. I did make her jaw a little bit bigger than a regular, like, Filipino. Because one thing about, like, Filipinos a lot of people don't really realize is, a lot of them are autistic. So, they do have smaller jaws. And I think it's just because, like, they're an island country. You can't really, spread your genes very well. Do you know the 1v1 is coming? Which 1v1? Tempered R forward versus me? That's good. But like, yeah, it's really interesting. And the one thing about like people and like talking about race is that they always have this thing where it's like it's a really uncomfortable topic. But someone who's been in a mixing pot, it's kind of sort of just a thing that happens. Because they've seen so many of them that they can not only tell the difference between them, right? But they can also see one and say, oh, that person is this or that person is that, right? Because I have definitely seen a bunch of different kinds of people to a point where I can immediately tell what a person is if I look at them. I want the carve. Do they explode if I were to... Is this the one? I think he is. How much hit points do they have? Kitty, you are not helping me. I'm doing damage to them and everything. I don't know which one was which. I need a bunch of inner wings for a reason. Is this the one I've been attacking? I don't know. Oh, there he is. Me. Oh, yo, fucker. Ow. There you go. Now you're helping me. I need to get this. What the fuck? Oh.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh, Nova Crystal. Huh.
Everyone seems like they're in good spirits.
Let's prepare for the next hunt.
Man, the feeling of wanting to get back into game development is so strong right now, right? But my brain kind of sort of has to like rationalize itself out of it. But I guess like it could be like a thing where I could like talk about it, maybe. Where I'm over here like thinking so much about like stuff like that. Like what I could probably do is I could probably talk about the fantasy and be all like, oh, this is what I think, right? If I were to talk about the fantasy, I could probably get the bug out of me, right? So basically, what I was thinking, right, is essentially doing this thing where if I were to be making a game, right, I essentially make sure that I market it right. Because contrary to popular belief, marketing is actually a lot more important than you think it is. A lot of people say like marketing isn't very important, but keep in mind that it's not that it's not important, it's that it changed. Like it didn't it's not less important, it changed, right? Now the only marketing that really matters is having it on the lips of a creator, right? You have to have it on the lips of people. And I think that's like the thing people gotta realize is like, yes, a good game will spread itself naturally, but the thing is how do you get your initial audience, right? You market it. Because legitimately, I'm gonna say it straight up. If Warframe didn't market themselves back when they first started, I wouldn't know what Warframe was. Right? You can look at the thumbnails and stuff all you want of games, but even adult games, I go to Yippee-Ki-Yay Mr. Falcon to look at what games I want to play, right? And I go to Lunaria's Debauchery to see which ones I want to see the gallery of, right? I don't go and grab adult games on my own. Even adult games need to have marketing. I think that's something that's very, really interesting to show, like, how important marketing is. And when it comes down to it, if I were to make a game, I would make sure I market it in a very specific way. I would want to market it as if, right, I am a gamer, right? And not as in like, oh, fellow gamers,
Right.
no.
No worries.
Sorry.
I would tell them the reason I believe I am able to make them a good game is because I have been playing these games for so long that I essentially know, at least understand what people want from their games, right? Like I understand it because I also want it. It's like, oh, why is your game gonna be a free-to-play game, right? Because I wanted it to be a free-to-play game. Well, it's because I only play free-to-play games. It's like, oh, why is it that you basically made it to where your game is rated A for adult, right? It's got a lot of blood and gore, and like, it references a lot of like bad things. And over here, like, the three types of games that I always play are free-to-play, right? And both the types of the adult games. One of them is called H games, right? That's the way to say it. and the other one is called Rayona. Essentially, I play extremely gory or extremely sexy games, right? And the only other one I've played is Monster Hunter. So if I were to be making a game, I would essentially make it to where it's a pop-in, pop-out game, right? Because I don't want to ever waste your time. That's like the big thing. But, I would also be making it a, cheap game. Because here's the thing that a lot of people would say about Warframe. It's, whenever they monetize it, it's fair, right? And the best way to explain it in a really corporate way is Warframe is built for poor people. The prices of which you're paying for Warframe's stuff is so small that you don't feel like you wasted your money. Especially since, believe it or not, free-to-play players are actually not people who have that much money. Like, legitimately, build for poor people is actually advice I would say to anybody who is actually going to go and do game development. Build, and they actually want to make like a free-to-play game specifically. Build it for poor people who do not have that much time to play the game, right? And keep in mind, what keeps people coming back all the time is the fact that you continue to have updates. So legitimately, just like Warframe, you better damn well be having an update every month. Legitimately, even if it's something small, but it must have something to do. That's like the biggest thing. Even if it's a continuation of an update you already did, that is literally just you chopped up an update into 2 halves, right? I think that's the thing that a lot of people gotta realize is Warframe, like, free-to-play games must be updated every single month. And you have to understand what your players want. The best way to do that is to legitimately talk to your players. Interact with your players and have them comfortable enough to interact with you. Never insult them, but be willing to accommodate the masses rather than the few, right? And the thing is, like, even if the masses are not people who do level cap, if there are a bunch of players, like the majority of players who think that they want the ability to level cap in every single one of your characters, got it. Then you probably want to have all of your characters be powerful, right? Or at least able to do level cap. Whatever your game's level cap is. Because when it comes down to it, even if there's a lot of people complaining about something they don't actually do, there usually is a reason for that, right? It's like, oh, but what would be the reason for someone wanting level cap? Maybe it's a code for the fact that they feel like their character is weak. Their favorite character is unable to do level cap, so they feel that their character is weak. So they want you to make their character stronger. That's essentially what the code is for that. Hey, how come it's so bad for your rally to do level cap? Proceeds to update your rally to have like more damage, vulnerability, and like an augment that lets you essentially extend shield gating. Oh shit! Your rally is so powerful. Yeah, see, that's how it is. One thing that I would say legitimately when it comes to game development, specifically that's better, that how you can be better than Warframe, do not take years to make a decision, right? Because the one thing I would say is Warframe is vulnerable to competition because of the fact that they take years to think of a solution to a problem that's been there for years, right? And that's a huge issue. Warframe always does this, by the way. Yeah, they take years to come up with decisions that are supposed to be something simple, right? And it sucks. It really does. And legitimately, if First Ascendant were to be a cheaper game, I would have probably went to First Ascendant. And probably dropped Warframe. But because of how expensive First Ascendant is, I feel like it has a higher standard. And that's basically what it is that's why you gotta build it for poor people. The more expensive your game is, the more of a standard you have to have. And if it's a free-to-play game, yes, you can get people in there, but people will have a standard, right? Because you're too expensive, you better damn well be much better than all of your competition. You cannot half-ass that shit. Essentially, First Ascendant kind of sort of falls flat just because it's too expensive. So people have it at a higher standard. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway from there. The skins that are in Warframe, they cost $5. There are $5 skins in Warframe, and First Ascendant, the cheapest one is $25. And then you have the biggest egregious thing that I always talk about, that is kicking First Ascendant's ass, is their version of Forma is $25 too. And you need a maximum of 50 of those fucking things. Because there are 10 slots and 5 different polarities, and if you want to fill them all, you need 50. At the minimum, you need 8. Because sometimes they come with polarities that actually fit. Most of the time, they do not fit. And I think that's probably... also, another thing, do not be afraid to get dark. And do not be afraid to get weird. Dark and weird are kind of sort of the two things that attract gamers. Because believe it or not, like, Warframe's story is extremely dark, but they also has weird shit, right? And weird is a code name for unique, right? Warframe has the dark story that is very unique, right? So I think legitimately, that's kind of sort of like the thing. Like, that's why I also wanted to make it an adult game. Not an adult ranged, a rated game. If I ever made one. Because I would like to tell an extremely fucked up story. Right? But I wouldn't want to have it an edgy story. Because there's a difference between dark and edgy. I'm not going to be constantly, like, throwing, like, dark things into your game, right? You're not always going to be surrounded by, like, edge and weirdness. And, like, there is going to be, like, something called, like, I'm not going to name things after, like, death and stuff. Like that's stupid. But it's gonna be a world that's like not entirely the most pleasant. But it's going to be it would have been a very beautiful world, right? It's gonna be a dark world that has a lot of beauty, and that's the stuff that I like. And because I like it, I think that there's probably gonna be a lot of people who would like it. Because I really like the Zenith Zone Zero, and that is a very beautiful world that is extremely dark. I just heard about an update called Soldier Zero, right? And I was seeing cutscenes of that, and over here, like, yes, this is actually something that'll get me back into Zenith Zone Zero. And you gotta remember, I play Riona games. I like this kind of shit. Especially since the characters still are very beautiful. I think that's like the big takeaway there. Dark yet beautiful is actually a thing that I see that a lot of gamers like. It's not just, oh, it has to be grody and gross and scary. No. Like, you have to have a bit of beauty in there. Because the beauty attracts you, the darkness keeps you. Right?
Well, what can I do for you?
I think that's kind of sort of how it is with Warframe too. It's an extremely beautiful game, but the story is really good in a way where, like, I'm invested in the story. And every single update, I'm just like, I want more story. Like, I want the updates to be lasting longer, right? But then I remember Warframe stories are just an introduction to their quest, right? And their quest is an introduction to their missions. Always is, always will be. But yeah. And one thing as well, it's only supposed to last for a month. Then after that, the next update comes out. I think if I were to have a crew, right, and the resources and stuff, and the motivation to do so, I could probably slap together a pretty decent game. It's just that, of course, I don't have that resources. And I also don't have that drive. And legitimately, it's because I need a guide, right? And if I were to have a guide that would be able to help me with that, I would do it. I would definitely would. I think the one thing is, I'm not sure if there would be a guide who would be willing to get me to do something as strange as start the game development. Because when it comes down to it, like, game development kind of sort of is such a small niche, you know?
Time to get started.
I think somebody
Come anytime you need something.
somebody actually said something really interesting. I actually just thought of this. They said something along the lines of, like, they said gaming becoming cool ruined gaming. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Because it isn't necessarily, that's probably, like, something that's, like, along the lines of that. You know what I think probably ruined gaming? That actually, like, to be completely honest, it's the fact that all of the former gamers who were making these games, they all got psychoed out and instead of hiring a true protege or training a true protege, someone who can take over and continue your vision, they ended up seconding out to a professional fucking CEO. And do you know what a professional CEO does? They crash things to the ground and run away with a big giant payout. That has always been how CEOs get money. It always has been. So what the hell did people think about the effect of it going into gaming? I think legitimately Warframe did it right. Steve had a protege. No, Steve was a protege. And he ended up getting the company. The owner of the company gave his whole entire everything to a true gamer. And I think that's probably how we should use it. Kind of like a kingdom, right? Or a dojo. Where you are training the next generation and finding one of those people to replace you. You cannot just be selling your fucking company to a professional CEO. They will ruin your shit and run away with all your money. And you'll be too old and too decrepit to be able to do anything about it. I think that's what ended up happening to gaming. I think the only way to really fix that is probably to let people know that that's the issue. If someone can come up and tell others, the game developers, that that is the issue, there'd be a lot more people trying to not have that happen. It probably also is better to go with Rathalos. But those are all my, I guess, hot takes on game development from someone who currently has a game development like kick right now. Like, I really want to just go back and try again, but I know it's not gonna run out. It never does. I get far. I once had, oh, this is probably gonna sound really stupid. I once had a working prototype. Like I had gotten so far that I had gameplay, right? An actual working gameplay. But I didn't finish it. Sometimes I do miss game development because it felt good to see something working. But I think the thing is you need a lot of resources. And resources is something I don't have. I think that's like a thing that ends up having, it ends up being the most devastating thing, is when you realize that it isn't necessarily a skill or a knowledge issue. It's like a resource issue. Because even the most alone and poor boy developers had at least like $10,000. You look in their you look at their like, oh, this is how I did this game thing, right? And they always have the words, I spent all my money on it. And how much money do they usually have? Probably a few thousand. And I'm over here like, okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't have that. Like, they sometimes hire, like, music people. And then they, like, get classes. Or, like, whenever they say they're self-taught, they're usually watching videos. Or they're, like, getting classes offline. Depending on how it goes. And I'm not like the best. I'm not the best programmer, right? And the one thing about being a programmer specifically is it's a lot of things you have to just know before you can get into it, right? Like, you have to know this stuff. And the thing is, watching a bunch of tutorials is not going to teach you anything. That's why I tried drag and drop, right? I tried drag and drop and I had a working prototype, but I ran into some issues. The thing is, drag and drop is definitely something that's gonna pan out if I were to use that, right? Like, legitimately, if I were to use drag and drop, I could probably do it. The one thing is what you call, the whole thing of like, oh, I wanna do this is like, you have to have a lot of time on your hands. And that's the one thing I kind of sort of don't have, even though like all I do is play video games. I'm a streamer, and I also make videos. A streamer who also makes videos kind of sort of doesn't really have the necessary time to do stuff, even though it's kind of sort of self-imposed thing. But when it comes down to it, it's like, it's not impossible, right? But the whole thing of like me needing direction is kind of sort of a thing. Without the direction, I don't have the motivation. That's kind of sort of a thing that is like a fact with me. I have to be led into doing stuff, so. What the fuck?
Don't worry about it.
At least I caught that thing this time. But a bot tried to message you. It's always when I'm like in the middle of like talking that they end up fucking doing that. I think I mention this a lot. I mention this every single time. Like, those fucking bots, right? I thought it was also going to like not show me that as well. I thought I was gonna be doing this thing where it's not gonna show me, but it does show me, so. I should see if I can figure out how to make it never show me that. Because it's like, it's not just something that bothers the chat, it bothers me too, so. Like, as you can see from me, like, mentioning it and getting upset about it. I thought it was somebody, like, I thought it was somebody trying to message me about something, and I got excited. That's like the big thing. Right now I'm alone with my head, and I don't think that's a good thing. All I have is bots. Bots!
Make sure to grab anything the monster leaves behind.
God, I hate bots.
I'll see you back at camp.
We got this. We got this.
Hell yeah, that's my tail. my god. Fuck you. Oh! Oh, I framed those. No. Sword and shield! I didn't notice that. I noticed that a little bit late. It's a sword and shield guy.
This thing's a trove of new data.
Hold on, I gotta do something. Ben. I thought I wasn't gonna have to do that anymore, but instead it's just like not showing you the things. What am I petting? Medulla, tail, ruby, sack, medulla, ruby. Mm. Oh, Arkfeld and Arathian. I just thought of something.
Well, what can I
I'm
do
not sure
for
if I enjoy this thought. Maybe if I turn them into monster girls in my head. Hold on. Okay, now I like it a little bit better. Okay, so Rathian and Arkfeld, right? Monster girl style. Like specifically like the monster girls, like Muhut does. But like aggressive, like bondage style romping, right? Mm, hell yeah. Let me check something. I want to check something. Oh, just blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm alone. Uh, mm, I'll just continue the. I'll just continue.
Shebar.
Let me check something. I'm gonna check Discord. Let me check the other one. I'm curious. Damn. That's unfortunate. Um. I do want to stream, but I don't know. I'm gonna continue. Every time I do continue, someone shows up anyway, so I think it's fine. Somebody should show up.
Catch the latest news here.
I want to check something. I actually want to check something. Hold on. Am I still on Monster Hunter? I am. And oh, the viewers fell. The viewers fell. It used to be 30,000. No, it's only 29,000. I guess people lost interest. I don't know. I have a weird thing where I can, and this is probably gonna sound weird, but I can recognize when the game's not entirely gonna be the best streaming game. This is actually why I like free-to-play games, actually. I wanted to touch upon that just because free-to-play games have this interesting thing where content keeps coming, so it's always got something new. So they're actually really good to stream, right? There's always something new happening. And it's like, oh, what about all of the competitive games that have stuff like that? The competitive games have this thing where there's still something new happening every time. Yes, they're repeating the same thing, right? But what attracts them is really, really, really good gameplay. If you're really, really good at competitive games, people will come. Because people like watching people be really good at games. But when it comes to something like Monster Hunter, you're only going to get people when there's an update. And I think I should...
What a view!
I don't want to,
All over this.
I'm usually late to things, but I think this time it's like... I shouldn't be late to dropping this. I think that's probably what I would want to do. I gotta think about the health of the channel. I think I'll take a break. Not break, but I'm probably gonna end it here.
Everyone seems like they're in good spirits.
Let's prepare for the next hunt.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna end it here. I think definitely I'm still gonna be playing this game, but the whole point of this is because I enjoy it, right? But there's just so much happening right now that I'm stuck with my head right now, so playing with no one here is not gonna work out for me. Because there's a lot going on in the background, and I don't think I can be handling... What is even the word for it? Handling, like, being alone? I think that is the word for it, actually. I don't think I can handle being alone right now. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have wonderful, wonderful nightmares. I'll see you, and remember, if you're watching my content, I know you're into it. Honey, honey. Good night.